Good morning. We have seen the open phase, and right at this moment here, something important to say. As we have already bleached my hypo number 3, that means we see that we collect here value at the top of overnight high, then we see increasing buying volume through the overnight high, which is absolutely the fact for today, and this is also the trigger we want to see in combination with the big picture here. And we see we already made first target. Now they test in the low again, so be aware now. We want to see at this level here, at this edge of 70 up to 72 around. This is now at the moment our buying control level of this mediocre long. And so we can most definitely say that this is a level to watch then if we see responsive buying again, or already here at this breakout level. That's also an area to watch here at this level. But I think for me more important would be the lower volume edge here from this where everything has started with this long. So we want to see if we see here responsive buying now to look for a range long. And then we know, of course, we have our prepared marks levels, which is our overnight low. That means, so if they shorts coming in with strength, then we have a possibility that we check the price areas around the 48 level, or even going down to this edge of the lower distribution from days before where the reversal took place. So that means around the edge 32 to 38.40. So 42 around is quite interesting level as well for the short side then. So right now we watching now the market. Overall, we see the difference to the last week's majority of days where we started below above the yesterday value area high. So this is a little bit different today. You see this, that we are starting here, and this is below this edge from Friday. That means from the main distribution. So computer may calculate the value low maybe around here at 68 or something. For me, it's important to see how they then react at the bigger edge from volume distribution here around the 93 if we could make it. But you see we're not above, but we're within or below yesterday value. So there's a difference. We're not looking for some trend continuation play starting at this very level here. This is very important, of course. So that means today we have a different environment. We are now in a correction phase. That means they have already started to correct the long trend yesterday. The stock markets a little bit more optimistic after the bad news from the last 1 and 2 weeks with the downshift of the growth of the world economy. Now a little bit more positive signs from the US, for example, as President Trump's trying to talk it positive, the economy and the growth, and also seeing a little bit more potential for the negotiations with the Chinese for the trade agreement. He's also using the situation in Hong Kong now to make a little bit more pressure until to force China to be patient with not fighting this movement in Hong Kong, because this will mean a harder way, or would it make it harder to negotiate a deal for the trade war. So this little bit got the stocks a little bit back, taking a breeze. You see now they already tried at this edge to play the longs here, and now going here. See this here? We're at the open range low, and then they tried to play the long again. I said I'm not gonna trade this here. I'm looking for this bigger volume edge area. This is the 70 and also then the 67 area, which is absolutely then a level for our pre-market control level for our range long. So that means we will watch here, if we then see here a responsive buying. That means people getting out of some shorts, which you can see at the moment here, and then the volumes need to see some stabilization, and then buyers coming in again. So this will be a a good risk reward, a good risk reward range long level, the 67 and also the 70. Alright, so you see this first level was not respected yet. They come in lower, so we mean let's go to my hypo number 1, which I made at 822 around. This was this level here from the 65 to 67 area. So this is now important. That means, can we see some stabilization here? And looking then for responsive buying at this area? Or do we not see it? So Mayday can go lower even and test the overnight low, which would give you then a chance to look inside if there's pressure ongoing. Either you go for the short looking already here, if they initiative sellers coming in at this volume edge below the 65, knowing then that 55 would of course a target, and if increasing sell volume continues at the 55, we would also get the chance the prices may test then this level around the 48 to 50 area, and then going lower to the 38 area, 38.40, so to this areas here. Now we want to see and wait first if there is somebody now trying to stay in this balanced area. That means filling out the yesterday's distribution here, filling out and making this normal, this little bit blurred distribution here, and Mayday then still in control, because no danger normally from other time frame traders, because we're not at the low area where we can build new pressure here when you see where the buying started again, where the reversal started. So that means there's just a mediocre short potential to this area here, where this transition from short to long taking profits was, but no really the OTF expectance. Only here at or above the area value area high from yesterday to get back in the super bullish terrain. So this would be then a typical range market, higher probability, and a wonderful environment for the short-term traders, but we want to see the signs. Okay. Back to the screen here. We are at this level now, at this volume edge. As you can see, this is 65, and what we want to see now is really that they getting out now. They started to get out of the shorts, and now we see the first responsive buyers here. That means we're looking here to enter and know that our targets now are around this first target around the 72, 73. So this is not a super nice distribution we have formed. As you see, we are not in some typical shape. We have some little B model in the morning as well. So, and you see selling continues. So selling continues. We really need to see now responsive buyers coming back in here at the low, with either first some absorption. That means if people now still trying to push lower, we need to see absorption, and then we need to see people get into the longs again. Only if we see this, then this is a good range long. And now target area already 72 and then up to the edge 76. And now I just want to watch you the delta and the market and footprint, whatever you use to say me to say me if you can spot really now the responsive bias. So if it really made sense then to go in or not. Okay. Did you see they tried to move lower here? At the moment 913. You see no follow-up sellers for the moment at the level 66. Means nobody selling. Then some got confident at the 68 coming back here and buy. This was our signal. We are now in the short term, very cheap price entry area. We're seeing some signs of stabilization. We're seeing some times of no more selling, and we're seeing some buyers coming in again. We have to know now when they started and if they started. We either here got stopped out before we see the impulse phase number one, because first I want to see impulse phase number one. That want to see here people buying. We want to see it in delta. We want to see now, boom, they push it, they try it, they do it, and coming up to this area. I want to see they coming up then to this area of 72. And if can make it above 72 without immediately selling again, immediately trying to sell here again, then we have a chance. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm in this situation. I've entered, made the decision based on my triggers, based on the overall, based on big picture. So either I got stopped out now or I'm staying in this trade. If markets decide to stop me out, then I'm just stopped out because nobody knows what happens after it. If they sell us too strong and we see no absorption, we see nobody's coming in to buy again, then that's it. Then this time market didn't pay. But right now I'm just waiting. And I see, of course, a lot of selling at the 66 and 65. But I also see that yet it holds. Alright, didn't hold. So I got stopped out here at this level because pressure went on into this level where I had my stop here at the 63 level. So 2 ticks below means now they want to play the short side. But remember, if you go in here for the short now, we have some minor problems. First, we have the overnight low and this area of this, of this pivot point This is the 60 area. So they could even just fishing here liquidity and go back into the buyers. So that means buying here would be still a cheap thing. We haven't extended it very far, and we will see how they react to it. And so you have to know, if you're in the short then here, you have to take your profits very quick here around the area from 60 down to the 55, because remember, this was where all the overnight has accumulated at least some pieces and stayed at least at this level. So this is very important now. So watch it, how market reacts, and to see how long it is then made sense to stay in a short. Or do we may see some excess on the downside and say, okay, what? Now we've tested this pre-market distribution and we try now, bigger buyers are now trying to get back into some longs and playing then the range longs. So we will see what kind of behavior and appears, and I want you to take a sit and look at the delta, look how market players play this level and how they react, and then tell me or tell yourself, if you're in a short, how would you handle it then? All right, now we have to take care here. What is happening? We're at the overnight low. You see, they first reacted on this level here, on this little minor POC. We're really little tiny POC here from the pre-market move up here. This pivot here, you see that they first couldn't get lower, bounced here, and then boom, back into the level. So now we're at the overnight low. You've seen that market rejected first once we reacted. A reaction once we reach this overnight low. So that means right now we don't see that they play it further on the short side. That doesn't mean that's over, because sellers of course are still in control. What we need to see now is that they take on the low with increasing volume. Then we are here at our prepared short level. This is our prepared short level then, where we have some targets, the 40 area. So the 42 area around is the target number one. And then the second target would be even the area around 40 to 34. So very important now is that we don't see some like double button and going rejecting the overnight low. We don't want to see responsive buying then. So that means if we see now a failing getting lower of the overnight low with the second leg, so responsive buying coming in and taking out even here the microstructure, then we have a good chance the prices will come back to test the 68 area. So let's wait what if they play it out, or if we see some V-shape reversal. If we see around really the V-shaped reversal, this will be of course a sign of strength from the bulls again. As I'm talking, you see increasing selling volume again to the low. We want to see now that they increase and sell and sell and sell, and then it's a very good short opportunity here. See this? We're coming back and now want to see increasing selling volume again at the low. And then we know we have some targets 42 area down to the 40. So let's wait. What we not want to see is responsive buying now, hitting the low. All right, you see you have extended it to the downside, but also buyers still in the game. That means only some little bit buying is enough to get the price a little bit rejection kind of way back to the upper area. That means we see pressure is on our side, that we stay in this trade. I have my stop tied here above this area. As I enter with the second pressure down volume shift here with this increasing selling volume again. So that means everything is in control as long as they stay within this microstructure now. And we want to see now they hitting lower and lower, because we have some, again, we have some target areas here then around this minor PC around the 45, 44 level. So this is very interesting. What we need to see, the pressure continues. As long as Delta shows us ongoing selling pressure and no deep rejection signs, we stay in this trade knowing we want to see first they testing this area around starting from 42 to 45 and see ongoing selling pressure. So let's stay within this trade, and if they able now to take out the low again, what they're doing right now, you can pull your stop to your entry level. So this would be in my case, I got in here at the 54, 53 area, and I want to see nut price coming back to this. So I'm in this trade. I know this is not the area where my target is. I'm staying here. I want to see that they hit around this 40, 43. Okay, they are, almost. I didn't get filled here, but 43 is my target, number one. And then I want to see they going a little bit lower again. So we wait now So I have only two things: either price is coming back to my entry level, then this is house money, I haven't earned something on this trade, or I want to see the pressure continues. And right now we have a lot of time, okay? Because remember, what can happen? If they now started to reverse already, then no problem. You know, V-shaped reversal is seldom. Normally we see a second leg. You have time. With a second leg, if then responsive buyers coming in again, then we enter our position. But before this is not happen, we have plenty of time and want to see the market has the power to stay here in control, because look at my big picture preparation. Here we have some levels. Here we can just wait and give the trade a chance to reach the target area and testing this minor PC. So I'll just mute a little bit to stay away from emotions and just trying to be objective right in this trade. So just the observation what's happening right now. See, some people taking profits as they reached my target area of 43 around, but I didn't get filled. So that means I'm still in the trade because 43 wasn't traded yet. So there were only 3 contracts. Now we see some people get out of the position. I'm still in this position. So my stop is at the entry level here around the 53, 54, 53 where I entered. So that means I'm now waiting for a second leg. So if market is not making a second leg here, then it would become a kind of V-shaped transition reversal. So in this case, so I was just then a little bit unlucky because then it's a V-shape. I can't do anything then in this situation. Then I just got stopped now with no tick, with no winner. But it's okay then, because we go with the statistics and say, okay, there's a chance now they test in the low again, and then we see some second test of the low. And if this is happening, then we get a chance to then decide when they cannot make the low again, if we leave this position or not. So right now, they are getting back up really, really high. At this moment, I got stopped out. It means no winner for me. Unfortunately, I got a plus 10 trade here, but I didn't get filled. So right now, I need this time now, a few minutes to handle this, my emotions, because I didn't get filled. I was so close, already was plus 9 in plus, but now think of it. What can I do now in this situation? What my brain monitor tells me, I give away my winner. So it feels almost like a loss, because I already had some money, but only in the P&L, and I didn't get it. So this almost feel like a little bit painful. I feel like pain in my stomach now. And now it's very important to understand, okay, that's perfect training. Even so it hurts, it's not fun, but you have to understand now, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? This is an old behavioral pattern, protects you from pain. Because your brain want to tell you it's okay. It wants to protect you from a pain, from some exciting, painful from exciting, painful things. So it means it's totally normal. That's an old behavioral pattern. And what to do now then? This makes trading then in this certain moment, of course, not very comfortable and not very nice, and not it's a little bit terrible. So, but you have to deal with this, and not with discipline. And you may see then how discipline is no tool to stay in control and get consistent profitable. Because discipline may help you in a moment where you're not emotionally driven and having not a pain emotionally. Then you can stay in control and say, oh, very disciplined and taking this trade here, don't take it here. But if you're in a situation like I'm now, that I was already at a +9 situation, and of course, even so I don't look at my P&L, I know where around I clicked and entered, my brain won't tell me, now you've lost this money you've already had in your P&L. So, okay. But what to do now? And I tell you something. These are the key moments. If you're looking for the holy grail in trading, and listen now, I mean this 100% serious. And I think only less people, professional traders, will talk open-minded about it. There are some, but I think most of them don't. And of course, the whole entertainment industry of traders around here on YouTube, they don't even talk about it, because this will be totally uncool and you will not make money with this. But I tell you what, if you're looking for a holy grail, take a deep breath and feel right now what is happening, your physical sensations, your thoughts and your emotions. I will tell you something. If you can handle in the future to take this trade that didn't pay you and even feels like a loss because you already was so good in plus, I will tell you something. If you can handle this to find acceptance and don't fight these emotions, okay, this old behavioral pattern created emotions of pain and fear and loss and uncomfortableness and even the physical sensations. If you can handle this and build new behavioral patterns through acceptance, you gonna get a consistent profitable trader, because you create then the mindset one needs that serves you better for a professional master trader. And this is acceptance finding for this old behavior patterns and transition to new. This is the holy grail. Because remember what you intend now, what your body wants you to do. One person maybe now will switch to revenge trading. Okay? Revenge trading would be now, okay, I can do it. I can do it, still can do it. I'm looking now for the next trade because I want to show myself that I can make it better. So this is like taking away the pain, okay? That means taking away the pain from the last losing or zero trade and transfer it to a new trade, because your emotions want to tell you, want to trick you, want to fool you that this may make up the last pain. And of course this will not happen, because remember, if you have then again a losing trade, it even doubles up the pain. And then it's very, 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 very dangerous situation, because then you may be taken out, you're getting out of control and totally crazy. We call this staccato trading, or you can call it some revenge trading at a highest level of uncontrolled overshoot trading. So this is the holy grail, staying in control, and not by discipline, as you may have tried or heard it in the internet. It's acceptance. It's saying, hey, you know what? There is no pain, there is no fear, because I didn't get paid and was such a good trade and I already reached my target by one tick, okay? By one tick. And you have to say, all right, that's okay. It's totally clear that now I have this feeling of pain and not feeling comfortable, and it's not fun anymore right now at the moment. But you say acceptance. You say that's okay. Fantastic. Wow, interesting how my body now reacts. Interesting how my body reacts now to this trade. And it may sound a little bit stupid and profane maybe as well, because why should you now take the situation like I told you to do, how I recommend you to do? You may at first don't understand why to do so, because that's not feeling nature. This is not feeling like how you would naturally react to this. But trust in me, if you're in a emotional mindset, doesn't matter if it's on the minus side, I would call this the more depressive thinking now, hopeless, uncertainty, without hope, or on the right side, totally over enthusiastic, totally having everything in control. Now I can do this, I get my money back because I'm the market, I know what it's going to. Doesn't matter. The one or the other extreme, doesn't matter in the minus or in the plus kind of mindset, what you are. If you're more like the depressive people or more like a very self-confident guy, doesn't matter. But you have to understand, only in the middle, not in the extreme, but in the middle, in the clear mindset environment, you are in the best mindset one can have for consistent profitable trading, because you're within the outside and within your deeper inside personality only when it's balanced, when it's in between those two extremes. So you have to understand in the theory, just from the neuroscientific perspective, this is the emotional mindset, or call it the most possible non-emotional mindset you need for the long term to be consistent profitable. So then it maybe make more sense when I tell you the tool to get back to the clear mindset now after this trade. And this is not the discipline, because discipline will drive you to more emotion, because the one will get them, based on his character, will get them in a mood of self-critical, self-justice, like, why can't you do it? Why can you not make money? Why you losing then again? And the other guy will make it more self-confidence, not self-justice, but say, hey, I know everything. I can tell where the market is now going. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go exactly to the 63, or no, it's gonna go back to the 43. Now, definitely. So this would be like a too overconfident guy. So no matter what, discipline will not help you, but acceptance and understand that this pain and fear is just all emotional patterns, and you don't have to live with them all your life as a trader, but you can instead create behavioral patterns that serves your trading better. And think of it, how beautiful it would be then to be in a mindset where you just accept those small little losses or losing trades, because you know you have an advantage with your strategy, you have an edge with your plays. How to get statistically in the majority money out of the market, and staying for this you need to be in a clear mindset. So at the end, as I'm talking now, you see market even got really far back to the overnight low where the initial buyers sellers control started. I told you I don't want to see this kind of V-shape, but interesting thing is sellers is still now in control. That means on a higher time frame we're having now this 1 leg and 2 leg situation. On a smaller time frame where I'm trading, I normally expect something like this here, that market's going up, bouncing around here and trying to test with a second leg, and even fails at the middle and goes up again, or if it fails at the low and then going up again, or we may see that they not fail and build pressure again on the sell, boom, 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 and we go lower. But anyway, at the end, this did not happen, my play, because market already, as you see, they trying to find here the power to get into a second try to the downside. This moment you see is in delta. They already failed to build the second leg. So they get them even back to the initial selling control level, which was around my entry at the 53 to 55 level. So at the end, again, it's about to stay in a clear mindset, and only if you're in a clear mindset after this trade, for example, you're allowed then to take on the next trade. And I show you to understand why this then Where was the delta here? Well, here was the target area 2, target area 1. Okay, I show you why it then may feel like some losing trade, even it was not, because it was a lucrative trade, a wonderful lucrative trade that didn't pay me. Look at this. When I entered here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ticks and plus where I could have be filled. But number 10, there was only sold. There were only sold. We take a look here at the low. Look at here, there was only sold 3 contracts. So I didn't get filled because I was either number 1 or number 2 nor number 3 in place in the exchange to got, you know, this first in, first out principle. And I wasn't one, of course, obviously, of this free procession. So I didn't get filled at my target here around. So you can now imagine, of course, that this hurts a little bit. But I'm also in a state of mind already because I'm training the situation. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still feel a little bit of pain at this moment. But I also know how important it is to stay in clear in mind and find acceptance. And I tell me then, fantastic, all right. Now I know I'm feeling a little bit like the market fooled me because I didn't get filled. I didn't make this possible 10 ticks with the first target, but prices got back and then even no second leg in a V-shape reversal at this moment. So this feels like a little bit, ooh, market wanted to fool me. And now even they try it at a higher time frame play in the second leg. So I cannot participate with this trade. But you see, important is to stay in control with your mindset and know this is then the moment where you have to find the acceptance. And then it's totally okay. Totally. All right, you see now market increases a little bit the selling volume at this moment here. When starting from this area here. This was the selling control level. You see number one, number two, increase of sell volume. Again, I entered. And then they, now a little bit for me, I didn't expect it after the first try to get back so far to the upside again, but now they reached the target, and even they reached even my target from the big picture preparation. You see here increasing selling volume into the overnight low 55. We're looking then for the short, and now they even reached my target 178 in 41. They now even have a chance to get lower, but for me this was the more effective, more important target, because you see this is this lower volume node here from the composite profile from last week. You see this here at the 41 level here, this area. This is where the transition, where this X was made on the downside. That means a very strong, some kind of very strong from this week single print situation where prices only stayed for a very short time and then transitioned and reversed back to the upside. So for me, this separates, of course, this next bigger value. You see here's the edge and here's the lower edge. You see this was my more important target here, and they may even test now the minor PSC here around the 40 area. Could even test the 30, but for me this is where the next distribution now gets entered. So I made a plus into it, because if you now see again increasing selling volume at the low of the today, okay, at the low at the 40.39 where we are right now, if you see increasing selling volume, you can stay even with a third position in it. Then you have the good chance the price may even test the 178 32 35 area. So you can stay absolutely in this short trade then. Right now you see some reaction here, some people getting out of the shorts and taking some profits, and now they going to the low. But you see what you want to see is here now, boom, wonderful, increasing selling. So they may even test then this area around the 34, means testing, try to get into the smaller distribution from last week's, which is, again, I tell you, starting here at 37 area, finding some POC at 32 and going down to 28. So that means most definitely 31 to 32 will be your next target now. Stay in this trade. All right, people, now I would secure my positions at this level. Now we reached even our target number 2. That means we are inside of this composite profile into this area from last week's POC at the 32 level. So we touched the 32 level. That means we're right now at this level where I would say this is a good situation to cover your shorts, to cover your profits here. So, because look at this, is a very strong low here. See this here at the downside. Here, see this here at the downside from last week's Friday. Also, we have a strong low here and excess on the downside. That means people who sold got rejected here. Very big by the buyer. See immediately within this candle of the ask bid volume difference, the delta, and then boom, got rejected within a 15 minutes time period, got kicked out of this area with 25 ticks move within this 15 minutes. And so that means this is definitely a area maximum to the 29 here, where this whole composite distribution also takes place for me. This would now be the area I would definitely take some profits here. If you're really big in this position, there's only one contract left for me, because this will be then if they really increase selling volume again into the low levels here, into the levels below the 2014 area. If they really increase sell volume here, then this will be even a home run trade possible at the short side. But this is nothing I can make some forecast, because look at the DAX at this moment, for example. You see, okay, DAX weakened a little bit. That means DAX made its up move, gapped up in the cash price, and then made it up to the 11,720-25 area, and now makes a little bit some balanced phase, some correction here. So we don't have the DAX support right now, and that means no strong stock market. But I think very good situation here. If you have one last position for a home run, you can hold on to this position. But if you're not only made 2 or 3 contracts here, I would cover my profits here. So then we have seen everything I want to see from this 2 days market for me. So in the majority, remember now we are again to the 10 o'clock time. We made our hypo 1 in the pre-market already. We made our hypo 2 now in the cash time, and we made some wonderful move, reached target 1 and target 2. So what do you want? What else do you want from the market? I would say that's absolutely fantastic for my place and what I have what I've provided and information for you guys today. I think you can see how important it is to make again big picture preparation, and I would not risk too much now. I would secure my third contract here. Okay, you can see that the selling pressure stays in the books. That means where we are right now. I want you to look at the 15 minutes, at the volume profile and the composite profile. The green here is the composite profile. That means this profile here shows us the last week's volume, the areas where volume and value was created. Remember, we reached target 1, this low volume node here. It's actually not it's not real volume node, but it is at least the volume edge where the next value started. See this? Started from here and going down to this. So this was target 2 then. Our high volume node, our VPOC. And you see this 31 level here was our target 2. This was reached right now in the moment when we crossed it 10 o'clock around. So, but I told you if you're handling 2 or 3 contracts, with the third contract I would secure my profits here, because this may be the area where we see some rejection. We also know we saw on Friday here a strong low. That means if we see now ongoing selling pressure into the low, and you holding a last position and see an increase of sell volume after this little pullback situation, then we may see even taking out this low. The low is at the 178.14. All right, and the next low volume node in the composite profile is here at the 178.02. So that means now if you're in this contract, in this last position, you want to wait how they react. If we see ongoing selling pressure again into a strong low, would mean that the majority of people are comfortable in selling again. Judging about this area here is still too expensive and looking for cheaper prices. And the first area where we may find an acceptance and say, well, this okay, this is cheap now, would be then if we take out with high volume, short volume, this low, would be then the area of 178.02. So this would be then the next wonderful target area for your main home run position you're holding still onto from the short side. So we will observe now, seeing the selling increased volume now, crazy. We went through the 14, selling volume increases still. Some people take some profits. And now remember, if they don't judge as too expensive or fair priced, they may even test this low volume node from the composite profile here at the 178.02 area. So this will be then, for me, the target for my last position for my home run, because then we filled out completely in this composite profile and testing this area. All right. So we will watch how this develops here at the low area. I switch to the trading screen. All right, the price now still having pressure in the selling. You see this here in Delta. It's a massive selling here today in Bund. People get out of the Bund and look at the DAX. The DAX is again, after some correction, at least in a bullish mode today again after the better news. So support here, and very important area now here at this composite profile around the area of 178.02. So we will see now if we can find acceptance here and getting some balanced mode, or if we still see more potential and say still too expensive and getting with increasing sell pressure to the downside. And this is right now played out at the moment. All right, you can see still ongoing sell pressure into this area. That means the next level of interest here from the composite side profile here would be the 177.87. So another 10 ticks potential here on the downside to the 177.87. So very, very interesting. Now we observe this very concentrated, because you see now they even take out low volume now 178.02 from the profile, and now we see the potential that prices may even test the volume edge starting from 94 going down to 87. Very interesting. So you can still hold on to a last home run position in this short, because you see just Delta is on your side. You see that? It's so important, the difference to other days. When I spread it out, you see it more even in the more flat time, where we have some consolidation part where we needed to fight to get lower in this area, starting from here with the re-increase. Even here you see the delta structure overall didn't take out the at the moment high. You see this here very clear. The high wasn't taken out, the high wasn't taken out, and again high was not taken out. But now you can see this is very interesting now at the area. Okay, you see they try to play it lower. I said they play it out. They try to play it lower as the low volume node, and you see now the technical reaction. So this is really interesting now. See how important this level is, this low volume node from the composite. So this is of course something you can expect. Either there's another potential with increasing selling volume to the downside, even to the 87, or in this case, if they cannot now find increasing sellers at the low again, we see then that they say, okay, now this is fair priced here, and we tested this lower volume node. It's low volume node. I'll show you again here. You see here, low volume node, they tested again, and they didn't find sellers who say this is still too expensive. So we looking now, it's 10 o'clock and 20 minutes, and we now looking at price, looking now for some fair value, and trying to get back into the bigger composite, or at least not expanding the low again. So that means we now waiting if we see some signs that price maybe get into a rangy and more balanced market, as prices will be then unfair here at the low. So I would secure then my last position if we don't see if we don't see now, and I'll show you the trading chart, if we now don't see again increasing selling volume, okay, and seeing that a maybe balanced phase and taking out the high, then this low volume node at the 12, if we take it out with volume, then I would secure my last position here and take my profit. So this may give you today some 50, 60, 50 ticks plus on your account. And you see how close it was today. It was so tiny, made a difference between making a 50 plus trade or getting stopped out at zero. In my case, I have my stop from my rule, from my place. And I think for this bigger moves like I had today on the short side, I definitely have to think now, as this was a lucrative play, a lucrative trade for me, I definitely have to think about
to make some adjustment on this more trendish short plays, because getting stepped out and then only price only stayed in the initial selling control level means would it be better than not to take to switch the stop too fast to entry level when you expect a trend play. So this is something I need to consider, because on the long side you normally don't have a move that switches then going back after the initial move. So we had this move here, then going back like this 15 ticks, so from the 43 area back to the 57. This is 14 ticks, so this is not normal then in Bund that we taken the initial balanced area and taken it out by even 1-2 ticks. But in this case, they want to be sure in testing this level, the overnight low again, and getting back into the shorts then again. So normally I don't expect, when prices already made 14 ticks or 12 ticks below the breakout level, I don't expect them going up so far again. Normally I usually want to see here that they build some second leg and going on with the pressure. So this is my play, this is my advantage I normally have, to say then I can control my risk very tight at the entry level. And so I have to reconsider and have to make some adjustments. Of course, my play development is based on the last month situation. Of course, the last month we have, or the last couple of months, we did not see some really shortish Bund. And so I think that's maybe the reason then why my play wasn't so super sharp developed as I have it for my long side. So that's totally okay. The most important thing for me was then, as I got out then with a 0 tick, that means losing no money, which means that I made a lucrative trade and handled it very good, then means for me then the most important thing to learn for me today, or not to learn, to get my confirmation that that's the only and the right thing, and the holy grail in trading is to stay then in control and find acceptance with your mindset. Because I didn't make now the mistake to take on another trades and get myself into a really, really minus day. You know what I mean? That means I stayed in control, not because of discipline. Okay, some little discipline of course today, but the more important tool was to stay disciplined, was to find acceptance that this just didn't work out. I stayed with my play parameter, I managed it very, very good, and though I didn't get paid with the trade. So that means, all right then, it was a lucrative play, and we will see how I can make changes now and adjustments, because now I'm permitted to make it, because I'm see that it's not about my mindset or anything else, it's about that the play didn't give it's enough space to unfold this short move. So at the end, this short move worked out as my big picture prepared. This level, we reached target number 1 with the 43 here. Finally then we reached target number 2 with 35 area, where you see they then really fight it to get lower. That means these levels I have prepared are of importance and are really good to take small profits here, because behavior of the then moving market confirmed the level by its behavior. Now we see they've taken out the low, and now we see again how the composite profile shows at the value of importance of this level, where we say we tried to get through it on the downside, couldn't get lower, and then we see boom, rejection. And now I told you here, when we see no second leg but increasing buying volume again, what you see here, I mean, this is textbook. Tell me, give me some critics, but I just talk in volume profile, market profile, volume profile, and I'm talking auction theory. Please tell me if I'm wrong anywhere, because it's not about to tell you bullshit, but you see this, like I tell you, this is the scenario I don't want to see, and then that's why I told you I would now take my profits here from the last home run, because they definitely about to fail to get lower and say, okay, this price is now fair, this is not fair, and we boom reject in this area. And as we know, and as we did a big picture preparation only in context, now this made sense. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense if it happened somewhere else. This is the most important thing. It has to happen then at this activity levels. And there you can rely on and build an edge and say, okay, I protect my profits here because now I see I have a probability that this price may even go higher. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I would judge this is going higher because we are now even 10 ticks above this shoulder of this second bottom. And you see this taking place again, this taking place again at this very important thing, at this important level, because at the whole weekly value last week, we see this is the composite, and you see how strong now, they try to take it out a little bit lower, 5, 6, 6, and then you see how strong now, even in the 15 minutes, this rejection of the buy side works out. That means judging this level to unfair price and going back into this distribution. Auction theory, I can tell you 100% in every market, when you prove it your way and prove, you will find out that the rejection, judging over reactions of market participants, only at this level, and call it activity level or what else, you will make a good, you can develop a good play. And of course, if you're then in control of your mindset, you can become a good, consistent, profitable trader. And then you stop thinking for new indicators, thinking for new plays in forums and the internet, and go and switching again and again and looking for another and a new and a new. Stop this shit. This is not gonna make you rich. This is not gonna make you consistent, profitable. This is not fun. But it will may absolutely exhaust you. And at the end, you will be depressive and sitting around and think, wow, no matter what I'm doing, this whole industry trying to fools me, fucking me up, I cannot make money out of trading. It's a few things, not easy to be learned and to understand. And then with a mindset, finding acceptance, of course, I will not blame you. It is not easy as well. But if you understand the logical thing behind it and understand how everything then works in together, it makes you so much easier to then go on and finally reaching your goal. All right. So you see market now made this huge shift away. That means they trying to build value below, again, this low volume node of the composite profile. You see there was not much volume then created because price shifted, bounced back, boom, like hell from the low again with some increasing buying volume. Then a second try, I told you we stay in this place, in this last position. And then testing, trying to make a second leg and entering exactly the 02, 03 level, the low volume node, and what happens? Boom! Buy, rejection to the upside. So, at the moment, we find some POC here around the 16 to 8 area, and prices now trying at least to end the morning downshift, trying at least, and now having at least the advantage of becoming at least a balanced market. And you see then, this would be then here the situation. And when I make some short drawings, if I may I? Yeah, okay. You see now that we have now about building a normal distribution, and it means, remember, low volume node from the composite profile, prices tested lower and were rejected with huge buy volume, tried the second leg and huge buy volume again and getting back because say unfair on the downside, and now trying to find balanced within this profile. I will show you immediately the picture I've drawn. I don't know if you see it, but I think you cannot see it. I show you. Wait a second, please. Here. Prices, low volume node from the composite, prices looked lower, got rejected with this here. Second leg try, boom, rejection here. Profile about to be balanced. The price is now looking for fair value, fair price, within this area. So this is just to try to find and create a balanced market after this short move. This can be then become a balanced market with ending up in again pressure on the downside, but it can also be a balanced market ended up looking for fair prices again on the upside. Nobody knows. But remember, for your short thinking of being in a short position, this would be then the situation if you're not a swing trader who is in a position for more days to end your position here. All right, you see that again at this level here where the volume edges, there's responsive buyers are about to come in. That means prices are here saying, okay, we don't shift to increasing initial selling again, but we now use this as a range market. Responsive buying, and prices now will try to get at least to the volume edge at the 10, or even fill out, then repair this profile to make it a normal distribution and going back to this higher volume edge, either the 16 or the 20. But you see, responsive buying sets in, no more sell, at least at the moment, no more selling initiative, selling pressure at the downside. And for me, I'm not looking here yet now for a range long anymore, because time already we're at 1040. I accept that the market made a wonderful move today already, give us the possible profits. You may have handled it well and made money. You may have handled it well and didn't get paid as I, because this development play for the short side, for the trend short seems to be not good enough. Then that's okay either. And if you have played it lousy, I hope so you didn't, but if you, that's no shame. You find an acceptance and say, I didn't made it because I made violation of taking profits too early, moved my stop not like prepared in my play. Then I hope so for you that you didn't take then in your live account another trade and another trade and another trade. This would be the lesson for you then. But either if you made it lucrative with profit or not, or you made it lousy and hopefully stop trading. Now for me, that's not the time anymore. You have to look and force some trading now. Why would you? Look how wide and how far market moved today and what a wonderful move we see. So that's not the area, the time where I want to look now for trades anymore. So accept this. So we see, as I said, then anyway, they now shifting in behavior. You see all this delta divergence. I mean, should be, everybody should see that the second attempt now from this down move here was not delivered with a lot of pressure and selling. You see this in delta, wonderful, okay? And you see now at the low level, starting here, some people get out of some minor shorts, and again pushing to the downside. You see, boom, again. That means here we see the responsive buying taking place at the low. Even though they tried it a third time, you see now prices have now the high probability after seeing this responsive buy to at least make the first edge here at the 178.10 area. Boom, they just hit it. And if they can repair and fill out this distribution, lower volume levels, then they may have the chance to now make it through this distribution and test the 16 level. So then we have the first time today, also in the bigger time frame, with this bigger second leg here, that we are about now to shift from the trendish environment to a more balanced market. And this would be the sign that the market participants price in this area as fair. Okay, sorry, I just see that as I'm making some analysis now, you may see the wrong chart because I switched back a little bit. I'm sorry for that. That means this is the real chart now. So don't be confused. I'm sorry. I moved it to the left here, backwards in time, shifted backwards in time because I made it some analysis. Sorry for that. Of course, price is not here at 58 again or something, but we're still in the balance phase. And so I think we will end the session now because then I can make some analysis, which is also good for my development, but also then at the end for yours as well, because for making these fine adjustments make it even more easier to follow it from the technical side, and you can even more concentrate on your mindset. And at least you see they repair now. As I told you, what would happen then if it really is a balanced market, then we would repair this lack of lower volume in this profile. I can show you here how it looked like at the moment when I tell you they may repair it. So I'm making this overlay. You see here at this moment, see it on the left side, please. See it here. We have this lack of volume. This is a not repaired, a not normal, about to be normal distribution and repaired. And now look what is happening when I draw it to the right. You see, boom, 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 boom. It got filled out and it's got a more normal shape now. And we see clearer volume edge and can say now that's the first time we can see this is now the area where we look in here. If you look in, I'm not going to look here for range trading at this time of the day. You may then look for the short side trading either from this edge, from the 21 or from the 16. Down to the POC, what they just hit here at the moment at the 08, or even make it through the whole range and through the value to the 04. Now we have a confirmed, first time today, confirmed balanced market, means price acceptance, building a VPOC, and seeing fair price around the 178.07. Remember, this took place after a beautiful short trend market. Very, very interesting day. And once again, first time after a month that we are getting more into a little bit more bearish in the midterm perspective, more correction and bearish moves, which we haven't seen for a long time in Bund, as it was always higher and higher and higher, balance, some correction, back to balance, higher. So wonderful. Changes a little bit. We will see what the world economy will bring us in the bonds and in the Bund markets. And for today, I want to say thank you again. This will be the last days, maybe the last week. We're thinking of now switching, as Matthias Neumann already told you today. We may thinking of now switching out to our payment system to make more clear for people who really want to invest their time and don't want to waste their lifetime for something. They just want to do it half part or whatever, half time, but really be interested. So for this case and for our energy and cognitive resources, of course, we will then switch for a free group who will get all information but a little bit delayed, but that's still super perfect because you don't get you get the same preparation and then the same recap but delayed for a few days, so you can still work on. No disadvantage for you in terms of education, because when I work out my statistics and analysis, then it's not for the long term, it's not from yesterday, but it's from the last 2 weeks or last 4 weeks, like I did this weekend. I measured again my trend plays for the last 4 to 6 weeks. So no disadvantage for you. But for the guys who are already advanced traders and wanna already trying to make a living out of them, we are in this phase now, shifting and making a live stream like I do it now for free will then be a paid service, and also the big picture preparation delivered before the cash open. So we will, as I told you, someday we will end, of course, this, and this will be maybe starting to be, Matthias will announce it, but I think we will tell you about, be prepared. This may be the last days and the last week where we deliver this all stuff here for free. And I hope you guys understand it, because this is a very important thing for me. That's just my resources. I'm showing you everything from my trading, how I think, And if you really want to adapt this and want to learn more and get some support as well from us directly, we cannot support then about, like now we have about 80, 90 people. It may come even more, and I will tell you, it would be fake to tell you that you can support then a group of 100 people. This will not work. So we will make the people who really want to make it and don't just want to make it as a hobby, but really want to be coming forward and being a professional, consistent product trader, then we have to make a smaller group, of course. And this is then what we do. And we will make a good price for this as well, where you will see that you not will have trouble normally to pay this little amount of money. And it's also a price where you can tell, and if you know what, if it doesn't get me something back, I haven't paid like thousands of euros for coaching, but if this is not helping me, you can kick out house again, you can delete, you cancel your subscription, and I think then it's really fair. You can say that doesn't work for me, but you're not into some mean contract where you cannot get out anymore after having paid a lot of money. What happened to me years ago when I paid a lot of money, where I could take out some very good theoretical stuff, but from the practical side, it was a lot of money and didn't get me further. So I don't think nobody wants this, and let us work for a good construction. We also talk to the people here, what they think, what they want. We get a lot of questions of people, what they thinking of trading. And I have to tell you, some of this are very good, something is not so good, and it's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. And I think it's better than for some people to stop trading or rethink what it is about to be a trader. And for the other people who are already a little bit more advanced and know what it is about and know that it's not easy to get to consistent profitable, but acceptance and find a good mindset and also technical skills. For those people, I think we can then really help. And for me, then it's worth to share my cognitive resources. So we see you later with the recap. I think this week it will still be free totally, and we will inform you and make an announcement to say thanks for watching and listening. This is Anton Hopful for Manapa Trading.